Welcome back to Imaginary Only. Today's episode will be co-hosted mostly by Aventurine instead, since I have yet to get a good relic set for him.
And?
Well, don't look at me. You got yourself into this mess.
And I guess praise him a while. More than you, Professor.
That's right, aren't I wonderful? Keeping you alive so often? Of course I am. I'm the most important man in Imaginary Only.
So we get to the new Divergent Universe to find a hologram of a philosopher yelling at us in a grove about books. Upon asking him about the adult-only section, he promptly throws us out in a huff before we get to the new mechanics and track for the next season. It's not that difficult to understand. You get an extra blessing thing that works alongside your equations that only works when the field is day or night, which is determined by a set of cycles. Without these buffs, though, night just lets you deal more damage, as well as the enemy dealing more damage to you, whereas day immediately heals you.
That's nice and all, but when are we going to get to the action? And most importantly, when are you going to start properly glazing me, huh? I can't wait to hear those sweet words of praise, darling.
Okay, Aventurine, if you're gonna go into the Divergent Universe and be supported the entire time as a damage dealer, he'll get a surprising amount of crit rate, and since Sunday gives him crit damage, he'll do well. And to be honest with you, it's the Divergent Universe. Anything will work eventually with enough bless.
I'm not hearing any praises, darling.
Okay. You're so great, Aventurine. Patch 2.1 was the best. Your eyes are so pretty.
Surely this isn't going to get old soon.
So after we finish the Divergent Universe, we decide to look over and see what we need for a good relic. I was thinking Boots, as he could use the speed.
No, I want a new set. I'm gonna be a damage dealer full time.
Oh, this will end well.
Really? Aventurine? Why?
I want the set Ratio has.
So I crafted a ball for him for the eventual damage set that he's going towards, to then make my way to Apocalyptic Shadow, to try to recoup more resin for the eventual rest of his set.
Thanks, darling. You know how to make me feel special, don't you?
We also want the delicious jades that comes with it. And as we said prior, we want to push to the endgame eventually. So our best chance for at least trying until we get a second sustain is to run this particular Apocalyptic Shadow. This particular one, we're able to do thanks to the buff that gives health back at the end of every turn. So anyway, we go ahead and fight Aventurine for the upteenth time.
I'm not usually a fan of beating myself up, but I can make an exception just this once.
Oh, thank you. That would make this fight a bit easier.
And come on, darling, you know what I'm waiting for.
Oh, you're a valuable asset to me and carry me through every fight. I don't know what I would ever do without you. After both sides, we finished the second difficulty. It was a terrible score at the moment, but a clear's a clear, and we have 300 jades in our pocket for the effort. We don't really have the best relics right now, nor do we have everyone's traces at 10-10-10. I'm actually waiting until I get that before I progress more. We also do some pure fiction with Dawn and head on to playing Pawn Stars. And before you say anything, Professor, no, Jade's not here.
I can get her in here, though.
No, please don't do that, please.
As much as I love tormenting my student here, no, I'd prefer if you didn't.
We then identify the sacred tub. Yep, that's wood. Before we then have a stream to go ahead and do some rolls for Mydei. With that, this is my Imaginary Only account. Welt Eidolons are welcome.
Welt is a treasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love Welt in this house.
All right, let's go. Hard pity.
Come on.
Well, that is going to happen, regardless. Yeah, see, hard pity. There we go.
You were late.
Yeah, very late. Holy hell. Okay.
Oh,
All right, cool.
That's amazing.
Why is the quality so terrible here? And you tried to cover it up by editing it as a flashback so nobody would notice?
Look, okay, I had a rough morning. I broke my streaming scaling. I was a half an hour late to it. I scuffed everything, and Mydei refused to do retakes.
There's no word for reshoot in the Kremnoan dictionary.
Oh joy, another illiterate teammate.
There's also no word in the Kremnoan dictionary for what I'll do to you if you—
Hey, let's settle down here, okay? Please, no fighting.
Humph.
We then encounter our next boyfriend, Nikador, talking to us from beyond the grave.
There is
Excuse
no
me?
phrase for this in the Kremnoan dictionary. But what the—
So anyway, we then get into a fight before Phanon comes back and stabs Mydei in the most flowery way possible. After we drag him back, Mydei goes to shoo ahead some kids before we go and talk to Pink Barbara from Genshin Impact to take us to our next objective. Talking to the professor at the Grove about the next Divine Spark to progress the prophecy going on. We then head there to find that the place is a mess. Overgrown with roots and branches.
It is always like that.
It's always like that? Well, I'll take your word for it. We surely find the Black Tide, which I'm sure is not always here, as it spawns a demigorgon that swears at us.
It what?
There is a phrase for that in the Kremnoan dictionary. It is— your mother was a—
No, not here, not
here.
Oh, I actually wanted to hear what it was.
We finally come across a locked door, and upon doing what we do best, we channel our best skill, which is hoping and praying to the gacha gods to give us a good result.
You what?
I rolled on the wrong banner. Please forgive me, Professor.
Not as rude as my other students as to shorten my name, but please call me Professor Anaxagoras. Thank you.
She was talking to me.
Ah, a fellow scholar? What a shame.
I think I like him a lot. Maybe I should do, and only.
Hey, don't think you can get out of praising me by praising someone else besides Ratio.
Be that as it may, I shall allow you to enter. Not because I particularly like you, but because I may have met my untimely end and I'll need you to retrieve my corpse. That is all.
What is that look on your face? It's almost revelatory.
I think I really like Anaxagoras.
Ah, of course you do.
We then get spooked by an Aglaia face, which, if you're familiar with anime franchises after a while, the longer they run, the more they encounter the saber face issue. But then she offers to reveal what's happened and points us towards the way forward. We ascend via the worst level in Elden Ring, hope that we don't get shot down by trumpet players, and continue on. Oh god, I'm having flashbacks. The trumpet players.
Oh, for the love of— snap out of it. You can't even fall off these levels anyway.
After we make our way to the top of the tree, we grab the Golden Bough. Project Moon mentioned? Sleeper agents activate?
No, stop it.
Sorry. Anyway, we notice Mem is gone, and we decide to go investigate as one of the Quantum kids cries out for help. We save Mem from a fate worse than death for the Pokemon meta, which is evolving into a Flareon, to then make our way further up the tree. After some time, we hit the courtyard to see Professor Anaxagoras holding his head in pain.
Ah, yes, I can relate heavily. Though I'm surprised out of all people, you're the one willing to say his name fully.
Yes, surprising. But finally, we make our way to the boss of this episode. Cold Steel, the edgelord who's been currently locked in 2010s with all the other games like Darksiders 2, Shadows of Mordor, Bloodborne, and so on and so forth.
What is she even on about?
She does that.
Well, I'm getting sick of it, waifu. I'm getting attention on me right now.
Oh wow, that transition was actually really cool. I should just observe your animations more often.
That's one way to get her attention, I suppose.
Anyway, this Ring Wraith is a cool boss overall. Unfortunately, he has damage reduction this fight, but his mechanics are simple. Just kill his summons. They do damage to him upon death. He has a similar mechanic to Nikador though, where he does an all-out attack if you don't kill enough of his clones. But otherwise, it's pretty easy to understand. After which, Professor Anaxagoras intervenes, and one of the triplets opens a gate, to which they save us before we get out of there and head back to Okama. Anaxagoras, of course, expresses his displeasure for, well, pretty much everything, and then leaves.
anyone ever tell you you might have a teacher complex?
All the time. We then cut back to some people passed out from exhaustion due to... Wait, am I reading that correctly? Mydei, are you attacking people in the bathhouse?
I challenged them, not attacked them.
Well, okay, I can throw a rock at someone and say that I challenged them too, you know. Were they at least aware of it?
There was no word in the Kremnoan dictionary for the term semantics.
That actually alarms me, Mydei. So then we find Fenin on the ground from Mydei's so-called challenge, and the bath sprite decided to explain to us what truly went on. And... Oh. Oh. Oh, oh. Ah. Oh my. Oh my.
What in the world are you thinking?
Ah! No, nothing! I'm not thinking anything.
You know, Doc, this gives me an idea.
Don't even think about it.
I'm not.
Oh, come off it. We all know you were, you little pervert.
We then have the girls having a bath scene, finishing off the day before we go back to the familiar area to show down with not important. Oh, and Professor Anaxagoras is here. Hello, Professor.
I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a little bit preoccupied with fighting for my life for the moment. You're annoyingly distracting.
All right, that's enough ogling over another scholar. Now it's time to bring your focus back onto what's more important.
That's right, me!
I meant the boss fight.
Mydei shows back up for us in the nick of time and offers his big, strong muscle.
Feel free to gaze upon my physique. I am strife incarnate after all.
Anyway, Mydei's support ability is imaginary and helpful for calling his summons, so we go ahead and use it. He of course charges up to do his final attack that normally does a lot of damage if he gets it off. And after all that, Mydei goes ahead and throws his spear to then show off that he's rad enough to dunk his face in glass particulate. That is so metal, Mydei. We then wrap up this chapter with taking a picture with our buddies.
There is no word for buddies in the Kremnoan dictionary.
What about friends?
No.
Allies?
I'll accept it.
Fangirls?
Not that I recall, but I'm willing to adopt new words, should it serve me.
Anyway, that's all for chapter 3.1. 3.2 and by extension the anniversary is on the horizon. And I have big plans for the second half of it on Imaginary only. Next video, however, will be Quantum only, finishing up Pinaconi and starting 3.0 finally. Trying to blitz through it to get Jades for Casterus. Either way, like, subscribe, or don't. I'll put out another video soon.